presented tools to live by. I've got mine right here. VayerWatches.com/surf splendor will save you 15% on an American assembled, ocean ready, waterproof guaranteed timepiece.
There's been no waves in Southern California, but there has been lots of warm swimming. I've been in the water, like body surfing and just swimming, but always on a time crunch. Always gotta get the kid to ballet or whatever. Vayer Watch, man. I lean on that thing heavily.
Are you just playing in the water, or are you actually like swimming laps, like to get exercise?
Basically playing.
Okay. Body surfing.
Yeah, thwomping.
Okay. Well, if you find yourself with a swell on a surfboard, this advice that this listener is asking for will come into play.
David Lee, Chaz, Nick Bravante with a quick not even a follow-up, but just a quick back-to-back couple calls here the last couple weeks. Etiquette question. When you're out there waiting for a wave and maybe you're waiting for a set wave, there's a couple of groms on the inside or somebody else, I know this happens, in terms of laterally to the peak of the wave, said insider maybe closer to the peak, giving them priority, but you start paddling way outside before you're really close to that person on the inside. And although that person on the inside does have priority or claim to the wave, you're already basically like getting to your feet or you've caught the wave. It's pretty obvious that you got it, you're going, and the person on the inside goes and then gets pissed off that you did or did not snake them. I was the, aggressor today. Caught a wave, grom on the inside, better surfer, little kid ripping. Caught the wave, and he was like pissed that I, air quotes, snaked him. But I was like, dude, I was on it, I was up and riding, and you decided to take off behind me. Who's wrong? Who's right? Let me know. Keep up the good work, guys.
I have strong opinions about this, but would you like to go first?
I do too. I will go first. I feel that while the temptation to do that is great, what it leads to is a world where everybody's riding 9-foot boards because everybody's just got to get the wave first, right? I feel you've got to leave room in the lineup for, maybe you were on a big board, right? Or a bigger board, more foam, and you could get out there. Dude on a short board is like, man, I can't go out there and catch it out there. My board, I'm on a like high performance thruster. And like, so I think that it's not wrong always to do that. I think you got to judge the person, but I think you don't do that very often. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And in a world where everyone should, that's what's happened, I feel, around where I surf. There used to be a real mix of boards in the lineup, right? There would be, of course, longer boards. There would be a wide variety, including a lot of high performance shortboards. The high performance shortboard around the reefs is basically extinct now, even though the waves are not, as great for it, but they're not horrible for it. But basically, if you paddle out on anything other than a mid-length, you're not going to surf, which that's super annoying. And everyone on more foam should, I think, preserve zones for the high performance thruster. So I'm going to say don't do that. If you're taking a wave away from a dude on a shortboard who can't paddle into that wave way out there, right? If you're doing that to a dude on a board equal to yours, do that all day, every day, because that dude is just being lazy by dropping anchor. If it's a smaller board that he's on, though, don't do it.
Yeah, I agree completely. I had this exact situation happen to me recently. So I hate to tell Nick he's wrong, but he's wrong. And I side with the Grom. I once was Nick. I remember doing that exact thing all the time. But I no longer am, and I sympathize with the Grom in this scenario. It's usually the Grom doing this, by the way. But here's the scenario I was in. Having a nice Sunday morning surf with my buddy from high school. Known each other forever, chilling, having a blast, right? There's plenty of waves to go around. It's a beach break. We're sitting on this particular peak, but there's peaks coming in over there. So there's a group of guys over there. There's peaks coming in over here. On the other side, there's a group of guys over there. One of them, in fact, is a 20-year-old hyper, energetic, aggressive surfer. And he's getting tons of waves. And a set comes in and he gets a wave. I'm within range of paddling over to compete with him for that, but you're on that peak, we're on this peak, those guys are on that peak. Everybody's got plenty of waves going around. Well, he got his set, paddles back out, and then a set comes to my buddy and I, and it's coming right to us. Like we're sitting, I don't even have to paddle. All I'm going to have to do is turn around, cork my board down a little bit, and get up and go. One paddle in, and I'm up and riding, right? But I could see he sees it coming. And so he starts beelining from his peak out towards my peak. And so I have to make a decision here. I'm like, okay, I can paddle straight out and block him, pull a blocking maneuver because I am still in priority and I am deeper. And all I have to do is paddle 10 yards out and it'll just block his path. But I don't want to paddle out. This thing's coming right to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's coming right to me in my domain. His domain is over there. He got his. I didn't paddle battle him on his. So stay over there. And ultimately, I let him get away with it. I was like, look, I don't really want to paddle battle him. And I don't really care about this wave that much. So I guess I'll just let him go. And maybe there was another one behind it. And I think there was. So he went on the first one. I went on the second one, kind of a thing. But I was like, hey, dickhead, calm down. There's enough for everybody until you start gorging. And then it gets me in a mood and I'm going to say something. You know what I mean? So Nick Bravante, unfortunately, you were the aggressor. He correctly identified I was the aggressor. He used that term, and that's exactly what it is. It's not a huge offense, but it's an aggressive move, and that's going to stimulate a mood in the lineup. But like I said, I remember for a long period of my time being that exact guy, and my thought was, I'm more energized than you are.
Yeah.
Like the more energized surfer has access to more things. And so screw you. You need to up your energy level. But in hindsight, I was wrong.
Yep. I'm going to say that kind of behavior really does lead towards like, yeah, because once somebody's gorging, then everybody says, well, okay, if you're gorging, I better gorge too. You don't want a gorgy lineup, A. B, again, you also don't want a lineup that where the high performance shortboard becomes extinct, where everyone is on a bunch of foam, because that is not a great place to be.
You're right. He is quietly urging somebody out there to next time they go surfing, think that.
You don't want to think that thought.